today's session we'll be seeing about the roles and access rights, and also we'll create some roles and grant that to user, and we'll see like how to check the roles and access related to that. So first, role is a set of privileges on object or collection of object. Suppose you can create a role upon a table, single table, or even a database or collection of databases. So it depends on your requirement how you want to create the role. So the main reason for creating the role is it simplifies the rights management. Like suppose you create a role and that is having access on a database, and which in turn is containing around 1,000 tables. So in that case, with a single command, we will be able to grant all the access to that user, rather than going on a table level. That is not recommended to. But
okay,
yeah, it simplifies the role, means access management mechanism. So again, the advantages, like suppose consider you are granting a user with a role which is related to one particular department, and that user he got moved to another department. So in that case, you just need to revoke the previous roles and grant the new roles related to this department. Means on the databases related to this department. So it's easy to maintain. And also there is a performance benefits by using roles. So that is, so in case if you are granting on each object, right? So again, that will be get stored in a DBC metadata table. So when you keep on granting this access, so that table grows, and whenever a user runs a select, right? So what will happen that the TE has to first verify whether this user is having the access. So that will come back to this metadata, and it will means it will check like whether this user is having access to access this table. So likewise, if it is doing for all the objects, right, then it will be a burden for the system also, right? Also, it will take a long time to complete in the parsing, right?
okay.
So when your table is having huge data, it may take more time in parsing. So that is not a good performance for the DB. So in order to avoid those, we go with the roles. So maximum, most of the projects, they will go with the roles. But I have seen in some projects where they are not aware of this, they will go with the rights directly, which is not recommended.
Okay.
So this is the syntax for creating a role, like create role, role name, and then you can grant the privileges to the role. Like if you see here, grant, select, insert, update, delete on a database we are giving to this role. And then this role we can
Okay,
assign.
like we are giving to a user the same way we are granting that access to the role, right?
A role, yeah. So we are we are granting that to a role, and in turn we are now assigning that role to the user.
Okay.
So this can be a group, means group of users also we can assign depending on the requirement.
Okay.
So there is a concept called nested role. Okay, so where a role can be assigned to another role. Okay, so in my earlier project, right, how we used to grant the role is we have a data role and a user role. Okay, so data role will grant all the access on a database to data role, and then we'll be assigning the data role to the user roles. Okay, and we'll grant that user role to the users. So the point here is, suppose you have a user role on application level. So let's consider. Let me open that. So there was a role. Let me DB or application name underscore user role. And under this, right, we have the DB name underscore data role. So there is DB1 again. So depending on the application, right, it may need
No,
access.
shall we take this name as last time something is created in application, HR data role,
We can
something like that. Yeah,
yes,
that I'm just saying like meaningful so that we will
let me
understand.
Okay. Sure.
No, just we can take that as example. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just seeing for the. I think we created 3 to 4 databases.
HR,
right?
finance,
IT, yeah. Yeah, finance DB. Okay. So here, let's take this finance and finance DB as an example.
Okay.
So suppose I'm having here finance user. Okay. So this user will have no read access on all the finance databases.
Okay.
Consider
Okay.
this way. Okay, read access on all finance DBs. So we have another DB called finance underscore DB, right? Finance underscore DB. Okay. So let's take this. Okay. So what we will do, we will create a data role on this database. Okay, finance DB, like this, and then we will grant access like grant select or whatever you need, insert or update.
Okay.
Any kind of
okay, grant, insert, select, update.
Update, yeah. Depending on the requirement, right? Usually we'll have one read role and one ETL role. Okay, so this read alone role will be granted to the users, and ETL role will be granted to the ETL accounts. Right. So
okay.
This, for example,
delete will not come under this one. Delete is a separate one, right? I think.
Delete also, yeah, delete.
No, how you guys? How you guys create like
the role
delete separately?
Not separately. With the ETL account, I'll let you know. Like suppose if you have this thing, so we'll have like data, okay, finance user. Let's take this read
role, correct.
Read role, okay.
Right role.
Yeah.
Finance.
Finance. Other thing will be like we named it as ETL role.
Okay.
ETL role will have. So this finance DB will create one data role like again here DB data read role. Okay, and this will be granting select grant select on.
Okay. Finance DB.
Yeah, select on this finance DB to this role. And for the ETL role, right? Again, we'll be creating another data role called right role or data Usually will the CRUD also will have read, write, update, delete. So this is some naming convention. But usually we'll have it as ETL only. So when we see, we'll get to know this have insert, update, delete, and then statistics.
Select.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in
select
case,
if it is already there. If it is already there and read, we are not duplicating here, right?
we can grant it. That is not an issue. Usually we don't compare this and this together. So this will again have select also. You can grant that, not an issue, because yeah. So we'll have this as separate one. So anyway, the ETL role, right? So it need to read data from a staging table or other underlying tables, right? Sorry, databases, right? So select is mandatory one. Even some cases, right? If they are executing a procedure or something like that, then we'll be granting that execute procedure.
Okay.
Right? So mainly these rights will be there for the ETL role. And then we will be granting this data role to the ETL role. Like grant this. This data ETL, right? So it should be granted. Right. So once we grant this role can be granted to the users. So here this is called nested role, because we create one role and we are granting that to another role, and that role is granted to the user. So this step is called a nested role. We got that right?
Yeah, that means you are assigning a role to another
role. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
So say one thing I would like to ask here. Say I am an analyst. Okay. So I am working on multiple applications, HR, IT, finance. So you have created like finance one role and HR one role, IT one role. So I can take those. I can create one more role called analyst role. Okay. So in the same way, I can write IT role, IT ETL role to analyst, data analyst role, grant what is that, HR analyst, HR data ETL role to analyst, like that, right?
Yes, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. But one thing we need to be sure is this. Let me go to this slide again. So if you see here, nested roles have negative performance. That is one thing. And also, this nesting can only take place on one level, which means if you are seeing here, we have granted this data ETL role to this user, right? So you can grant this data ETL to any other user role, but you shouldn't take this finance user ETL role and grant to some other. It won't work actually. So this nesting will be working on a single level. Like we created a role and this role we granted.
Okay, say for example, tomorrow you have created something like a DBA role. If you are passing through this role, for that DBA, we cannot assign finance user ETL role to the DBA, correct?
Correct. You can assign this data level role, because this is zero level and the next one is single level nested.
Okay.
Yeah. So this thing we need to be keep in mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, this nested roles, right? This have negative impacts on the performance, not to the core, but for some extent, because this data, right, again, granting this data role to this role, this has to be stored in a metadata, right? This has to be in the metadata again. Also, when you analyze, right, you need to be sure, like, how to analyze the thing, means how to get the metadata correct, how to retrieve it properly. So those things are there when you nest the roles. But once you get used to it, right, so you can easily get that.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, we saw this syntax also. So before going, okay. So when you log into the system, right? So you want to suppose user Manjunath, okay, he is having around 4 to 5 roles. But once he log in, right, he want to be sure, like, he doesn't want to delete or something. He just want to going to do a select. Okay, so he want to be sure, like, he has the minimal role means active, so that by mistake he doesn't do anything, a delete or drop kind of thing. So in that case, what we can do, we can log in and then we can set a role. Set role name is the syntax. So for example, you're having delete, drop, access on a database, select kind of thing. Okay, so in case you want to be sure, like, you don't do anything on a delete or something on the database, so you can set this read only role the beginning of the session. After logging in, you can set this. So in case if you do a delete or drop also, what will happen? It will throw error. It won't happen actually.
Okay.
Right. And also suppose on a default, the all roles will be set to you. In case if you set this single role for your comfortability, right? So if you want to go back to allowing all the roles, then you can write the set role, or means whatever roles which are assigned to you will become active. Right? This is for activating a role on a session level.
Okay.
And these are some of the...
if your default role is some other thing, you want to use the another role which is already assigned to you. In that case, we can do this way, right?
Yeah, we can do this way.
For that session.
Yeah, we can do this. Yeah, exactly. So mostly we don't set a default role. So that is what...
1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Sure,
I'm getting a call.
Sure. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, please, you can continue.
Yeah, okay. So on a real-time basis, right, and in the production environment and all, we don't set the roles actually.
Okay.
Might be I have worked around 5 to 6 projects. But we never set a role, default role during the creation. So to avoid this setting of roles manually.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are some of the main data dictionary tables which you'll be working on when it comes to the role. Like first one is dbc.role.info. So this will give you the information about the role, like what is the role name and who created it, when it was created, by which user, those kind of details. Okay. And this dbc.all rights is the one which contains the rights assigned to this role. So we granted this these roles, right? Like insert, update, delete, this kind of roles. It will be reflecting on this table. So this is one of the mostly used table when it comes to role management. Also this dbc.role members, right? So this will give you the information about the user who was granted which role. Okay, maybe we'll see this in practical. So let's complete this role part, then we'll go for the rights. So I'll just start connected, right? Okay. So we'll see if I have the file here. It's there. So last class we created users, right? So let me create, we created secadmin. So under secadmin, we'll be creating the users.
Okay.
So mostly we'll be having two kind of databases, right? Like, just like a refresher I'm telling. So DB admin is the one under which we'll be having all the databases, and secadmin will have all the users created under it. Like under secadmin, we can have like application user, business user. So those kind of databases we can create, and under each you can create whatever users who are coming in. Okay.
Okay.
So let me create a user called user A from secadmin. So in real time, we won't be granting any role, any permanent space to the user. So let me keep it as 0. The password as 10. And profile, I think we created only one profile, right? So let it be the same automation. So the startup you are asking, right? So the startup, if we set something, right? Like here we can set like select date. Okay, so what will happen whenever you just connected, right? When you run a BTech or something, so whatever the user which you log in, if it has any startup SQL, right? So that will run at the first before submitting anything. So just
okay.
Yeah. So this is just like a script which runs when you log in. So that is null. Yeah, user A and created and password is 2. I think it got created, right? Okay, so yeah, so it is done.
Okay, that means there's we can assign initial SQL.
Yeah, we can assign initial SQL. Like if you want to give a select timestamp, right? Then you can just give select timestamp here. So whenever you connect with the BTech script, right? So when you run a BTech with your account, so automatically, even if you don't specify anything, the first line will be like select timestamp, whatever you set here. That will run over there and it will give the output.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me try to connect with this user maybe later. Just one second. So we have this finance DB, right? So let's create a role. Create role. Finance underscore DB underscore. So here I'm not gonna use the nested role. I will just create the one-to-one role. So the nested role example I have given, in some projects they use that. So might be, when you come across it, it will be easy for you.
Okay.
So read only, and then so first I'm creating this role. History is not coming. Okay, role is created now. And then we assign privileges to this role. Grant, this is read-only role, right? So we grant select on finance DB to this role. Okay, let me run this. So now we have created a role and granted the access to this role.
Okay.
Now we'll be granting this role. Even you can give a comment like comment on role finance TV. It's role for finance read only access. Okay, and we can run this. So this role will, this command will be set on the metadata. So whenever when you are fetching the details about this role, you can see this. So if someone new comes to the team, then he will understand like what is this role for. Okay, so
Okay.
and then grant this to a user. Okay, grant this role to user A we created now, right? So I'm granting this to this user A. Okay, done. So now if we see here, so if you see here, we created a role and then we granted the access to that role. And we created a comment for this role and then we granted the role to a user, right? So let's see first about dbc.role info. Okay, so this metadata will give you information about the role, right? So let's do a select start from dbc.role info, where role name like finance. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so there is only one role for finance, right? So if you see here, this is a role name. The creator is DBC. This is the command string we have given, right? Role for finance read only access. This is the timestamp when it was created. Okay. Now I have granted. So this will give you the information about the role. So now we need to see what are the access on this role. Okay. Manjunath, you're there, right? So any doubt in this role info?
Yeah, sure. I can hear.
Okay. So because sometimes this is getting disconnected, so I'm not sure if we are connected and I keep on talking. That's why I'm just making sure. So
Okay.
this dbc.all role rights, right? It will give you the rights associated with the role. So let's see here, where role name equal to, let's give the role name which we created, right? So let's run this. Okay, so we see here, this is the role name and it's having access on database name and table name is all. So whenever you grant access on a whole database, here the table name will be all, like whatever new tables coming into this database, right? So you create a role today and grant it to some users. So tomorrow they are creating new tables on this database, right? It will be automatically granted. Means why? Because we are granting it on database level where all tables are selected.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So if you see the access, right, it has R is for read or select. So it is granted by DBC and this is the timestamp. Okay. So in case if you selected, if you created another role, right, it will be visible here. Like for that role, what are the access? So maybe you can create one more role and show you. Okay, let's create one more role here for ETL. So create role. And I'll be granting grant let's date delete on DB this. So let's do one thing where I will give a role name like finance. Okay. So if you see here, we have two roles. One is this read only, the other one is the ETL role. So this read only is having read access, and ETL we have given insert, update, and delete. Okay. So this way you can see what are the access rights this role is having, and you can grant that role to the user.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this is okay. We have one more table, right? So I granted the access to the user, right? So I granted the access to user A. So suppose I want to see what are the role this user A is having, right? So what I'll do, select start from dbc.role members where grantee equal to user A. Okay. So if you see here, we have granted only one role, that is finance DB read only to this user A. So grantee here is user. So grantor is who grants that access. Okay. So DPC is the one who granted, right? So he
Okay.
is the grantor, and grantee is the user to whom the role is assigned. Okay. And this is granted on a user level, so it's grantee kind is user. Suppose,
No, that means
yeah.
no, 1 minute. Grantee is the one who is receiving that
Role.
access, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
And grantor is the one who is granting that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is about the roles. So we saw about this metadata as well. Mostly we'll be working on this, either this or this, right? So we'll see. Also, there is one more real-time example in this. Suppose you want to see like you want to suppose a user raise a request. Okay, you want to give access on particular database. So in that case, again, you will be
what kind of roles normally in a production environment they will create? Can you just brief that and give me the list? Something like developer role, all read role, or
yeah, usually it will be
SIT role. No, some kind of a it's something we want to standardize, no? So
yeah. So either in case of production, right? So it will be a read-only role where you have select on that database, read access, and the other one will be the ETL again, as we saw here. So this is the standard we'll be using. So this ETL will be having insert, update, delete, and then statistics. So it will be granted only to the ETL IDs, right, which you use from Informatica data stage. Only to those IDs it will be granted, not to the individual users. So mostly in production and value environment, you will be granting users with read access only.
okay, but production it's okay. For dev and SIT, if they are saying
we can create multiple roles, like you can create a developer role, and you can have a combination of roles like rights, right? Select, execute procedure, execute, insert, update, delete, even drop. We can grant it on dev level, because usually development system, right? We won't pitch in until there is some problem. They reach to us. Mostly we will be granting.
Because here I need to
restrict the access.
Here something like we may need to create a space partition, and they are planning to buy a new server, so they are in a discussion. Okay. So dev and SIT and prod they are planning to do that.
Okay. So most cases what I saw is like dev and UAT will be in a single system. So
correct. Yeah, prod they are planning to buy.
Okay.
The current system they are converting it to a dev just
dev.
for dev and SIT.
Okay.
They are planning to buy a new server for
production. Okay. Yeah. So in case if it is splitted as dev and UAT, right? So you'll see like they'll create the database like UAT underscore finance DB and then dev underscore finance DB. So these both from the user perspective, it will be different, but for us, it lies on the same machine. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they maintain it. So when it comes to development, you can create roles like dev role, application user role, business user, and you can. But these two are the major when it comes to the production, ETL and the read-only role.
Okay.
So most requests will be satisfied with this. Sometimes some users they require for read, write, insert, update also. So in that case, we need to get the prior approvals from the database owners, and then you can grant it.
Okay. Okay.
So another example I was about to tell is, suppose one user is
and
coming.
for ETL,
Yeah.
ETL users, we have ETL users in the sense like this batch jobs or the one
Correct.
they're running.
Yes.
So
yes.
they would be having select, insert, update, delete, everything, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's what. Yeah. Here we are given, right. Insert, update, delete, and we have another one like statistics in case if they run a stats job after the ETL completes, insert or update completes, then we have that to given stats.
Okay.
But they won't be able to, drop or recreate the tables. They need to come to us in production. Then
Okay.
we will do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I got it.
So yeah. So the other example is, suppose you get a ticket where the user is asking, I need access on this DB. Let's say as finance vendor, because we created this finance DB, right? So in that case, what we'll do, first you can check whether this user is having access on this DB. Like we saw this, right? Select start from DBC role members, where you give the username. And then if you want to see like what are the roles on this finance DB, then you can do select start from DBC dot all role rights again. Where database name equal to finance DB.
Okay.
So if we give this, it will give again what are the roles we have on this DB. All right. So we have 2 roles created. So this is one of the case. We will be using this later.
Okay.
And then yeah. So this is about the roles, and we'll move on to the access rights. Okay. So any doubts in those roles?
No.
Nothing, right? Okay.
Based on the kind of activities they're doing and what are the databases they should have access, according to that they will create a role. Correct. And
yes.
they assign that role to the user.
Yes.
And we can go up to the table level also, right? In this one.
Roles, right? Yeah, we can do that. So here in this example, you have given it on database level, right? So
yeah. We can give it at a table level also. If some table.
Yeah. So
okay.
So what we can do is we can grant inside of the DB name dot. We give a table name here. Then it will apply to the table.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
So coming to the rights, right? Access rights. So access rights, we have seen a little bit about earlier. So these are nothing but the rights which a user or owner or a creator is having. So basically the rights will be of 4 types. The first one is implicit, second is explicit, third is inherited, and fourth is automatic. So when it comes to implicit, so these are the rights which a user or owner who is owning the object automatically gets. So that is called the implicit rights. We'll see that in real time. We have show you this implicit rights and all. So explicit is what we grant by using a grant statement. Suppose I grant you the right, select grant select on some DB to Manjunath. So in that case, that is explicit. And inherited is what that user gets through a role. So we saw earlier, right? Like we grant it through a role. So that is again an inherited, because that access is inherited from a role to a user. Got it, right? We given the access to a role only. So when we assign that role to the user, that access, whatever that role is having, it's automatically inherited by the user. So it's called inherited. And the fourth one is automatic. So this is these privileges are automatically granted by Teradata whenever object is created or something. So we'll be seeing that in detail now. So there are two types of hierarchy which we need to understand. The first one is created and the second one is owners. So a creator is a user who execute the DDL statement for a create object. So suppose you created a user or you created a database, right, with sysadmin or DB admin, right? So in that case, DB admin or sysadmin is the creator. Okay. And the owner of the database object, right? Like we saw earlier, you see here. Okay, so if we see here, we are doing a create user. Let's take this as an example. We are creating a database, right? We're creating a database, and from where we are creating? From DB admin we are creating, right? So DB admin is a owner here, and suppose you are running this statement with sysadmin or some user.
Okay, login user, say something like your login, something Ashwin, there is a login.
Yeah, in that case, then my ID will be the creator. Like whoever issue this create statement is the creator, and from where, under which DB you are creating, that is the owner.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah.
From which space or which
under which
you are bringing that space to this user, that is the owner.
Correct. So if we see here, the DB is the one who is passing the create DDL. So in that case, he is the creator for this object, and there will be two owners. So one is the immediate owner, that is this under this database only we are creating this object. So this database one is immediate owner for this object, and this sysadmin will be the owner. So yeah, so there will be two owners.
Okay.
And so let's see about this implicit rights then. So these implicit rights are not automatically assigned when you create a object method, right? So they do not require row in DBC that access rights. Means they actually need not to enter or something, but these rows will be automatically created whenever you create an object. Okay, and it won't be able to be revoked. You won't be able to revoke that access. Got that right? So implicit access is the set of access which is granted to a owner automatically when you create something.
Okay.
So these owners, right, they can explicit the privilege with or without a grant statement. So suppose I'm creating the object, so I'm the owner, right? So I will get the access by default. And what I can do, I can grant other users. Suppose I can do a grant select on whatever object I created to Manjunath. Okay. if I give with grant option, right? Then Manjunath can grant this access, whatever I given on this object to any other user. Got that, right? Let me tell you.
Yeah, I have.
So let me take Mashwin, right? So
we got the scenario. We got. Let me tell you. Okay, so I will tell you. We got this scenario. There is something called table database, view database, and reporting view database. Okay. So all the physical objects will be present in the table database. On top of that, they are creating one view. And for the reporting layer, they are created one more view.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how they follow. But sometimes what happens, some of the applications, okay, normally if we will provide a view level access. Okay. View level in the sense like that is using ETL level, okay, not at the reporting level. Okay. So some of the users, they need to communicate with other database, and other database join the table present in other database with this database table.
Got it.
So in that case, we provide sometimes this with grant option
at
the database level.
One second. Sorry. So I got a point. So in that case, you will be facing errors, right? Like user does not have select the grant option.
We are going to join something like we have taken a scenario of finance, no? There is a table called calendar which is available.
Right.
And you need to join with the finance database and some other table in IT. We need to join for some other querying purpose. So it won't allow that. So
correct.
In that case, we need to provide with grant option somewhere. So
correct. So this is called a cross DB access. Okay. So suppose let's have this example. Okay. Finance DB is where your tables lies, and you created a finance view. Underscore view, and then you have another thing called a finance reporting. Okay. So suppose this finance view is selecting from this finance reporting and finance DB, right? So what this database should have, right? Access on this and this. Got it, right? So we need to explicitly grant this, like grant select on finance reporting and then finance DB with grant option. So if we grant that, right, this cross DB access will be created. So this finance view, I didn't give the username to finance view, right? Finance view. So what will happen when you run a query from this layer? Okay, selecting data from these two layers, it will be working fine. So when we don't grant this, right, this cross DB access won't happen.
Okay.
So this is called the cross DB access.
Okay.
So
and one more thing, say whatever DBC, no, this in the initial level there is a DBC only available, right? All the accesses what DBC has, if you want to grant it to sysadmin, means the same way we need to provide.
Not required. Like suppose in this example, if you have.
I read somewhere like whatever DBC is doing, right? If they want to, give that permission, kind of whatever DBC is doing for sysadmin, if you want to provide, means we should provide with grant option. Is that right?
No, not like we can give that. That's what I told you, right? Like here, seeing here, yeah. So an object owner can grant explicit privilege to other users. So here, the object owner you are referring is DBC, okay? And the other user you are referring here is sysadmin, right? Sysadmin. So
correct.
You can grant it with grant option also. So what will happen? This user, that is your sysadmin, will be able to grant that role or access to other users.
Okay. So he can grant those things to other person.
Right. Yes. Once he have this grant option, right? He will be able to grant that to other person. That is the user.
Okay.
So
actually, sometimes there is a confusion. We will face like we need to provide grant select, or sometimes we need to provide grant select with option. I faced some situations.
Okay.
In my last project, I was working as partly DBA and developer.
Okay.
So in that case, I was not getting the clarity when I know whenever what is happening, some loading jobs are failing. Okay, in the sense like in the development team, they are coming with me and we don't saying like there is no access on this table. Select access on the table like that. If I provide grant access, it was not working. Then I am providing grant with. So when grant with and when this one is required accurately, I could not able to provide.
Okay. I will tell you. So suppose so in this example, if a user is fetching data from this finance DB. Okay.
Yeah, say username is Ashwin, something like you just
okay. Let's have it as Ashwin. Okay. Yeah. So I'm reporting you that I'm running a select on this DB and it's throwing me the error. User does not have select access, right? So
there is a take another DB, another 3 DBs. Okay, something like finance IT. Take it something like IT.
Okay, let's take finance
IT with the same hierarchy. IT view.
Okay.
Three databases. No, not like that.
Got it.
Okay, finance we have got it now. So
okay, ITDB and then likewise.
Yes. ITDB. IT reporting.
Okay.
IT reporting.
Then IT
view.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what these guys are doing in their one of the job, table which is present in the sense view they are creating, they are not given access to access the direct table. Okay.
Correct,
they need to go through view only. Okay.
Correct. Okay.
So he is accessing the table through the view created in the IT view layer. Okay.
Okay.
So he is doing he is joining with finance view some table. Okay.
Finance view, right? Okay, I got it. So the view is present in IT_view and he is joining in the finance underscore view, correct?
Yes, finance underscore view.
And if that user runs this query, right? So what is the error he will get? User does not have
select access.
No, select with grant option. He will get in this case. Because he is doing a cross DB, right? But if he is querying only on IT view, in that case, it will only show you user does not have select access on IT view. So this is from this error only we will be able to understand whether he is doing a cross DB.
Okay. I will tell you one more scenario. Okay. So I have granted select access to the to Ashwin on both IT view and finance view. In that case, also this option error will come.
Okay, you like I'm having access on IT view and finance view
also and finance view also.
No. Even in that case, it will this error will, because you are giving me access on IT view and finance view. Okay. So what I will be able to do, I can either query IT view or finance view. Right.
Okay.
Individually, those will be individual for my ID.
Okay.
So when it comes to this cross DB, right? So whenever you want to pull the data from other.
Okay, and another scenario. Okay, I will just tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, you had that scenario in your mind. Okay, so you have access to only IT view. Okay. You don't have access to a finance view. Okay. So I have given a grant option IT view to communicate to finance.
Correct. Okay.
So in that case, the Ashwin able to do the query and select on that one.
Yes, because the view is created on IT view and I have access on IT view. So if I run that, right, it doesn't bother about what is underneath.
Okay, it doesn't require Ashwin access to finance, right?
Okay, if we have a view, then it doesn't have. If you do a join or something, then
I have say I have given. Okay, let me tell you this way. Okay, I have given Ashwin select access to IT view.
Okay.
This grant option on IT view to finance. Okay. So those two can communicate. Okay. Since this access is there, whether Ashwin requires select access on finance DB, if he is joining those two tables and getting some result.
Not required. If I'm able to execute the IT view, right, then this will automatically get communicated with this finance. That it will give me the output.
Okay. Okay.
I need not to be granted with finance access.
Okay. Yeah. This was the confusion I was having at that.
Okay.
So whether I need to provide to the user or database should
database to database.
Correct. That was the confusion I was having. Okay.
So
that means if user is having to the database and that database is able to communicate with another database, then we can get the result, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what, with this error only we will be able to identify what the issue.
Okay, so, with grant option come means like we need to provide
DB.
grant.
Yeah, it means like some other database is trying to fetch the data. This cross DB access. So this is the normal access.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And database to database, this with grant option, we can provide a select update insert. Though that is also possible, right?
Yes. We can get select, insert, update, anything.
Okay.
So this is the explicit, as we saw here, we grant the access explicitly with the grant or revoke statements, right? So this is again the explicit one. And okay, coming to the automatic privilege, right? Like when you create an object or a user or a database, then as I told, some privilege will be automatically granted to the owner. So that is called a created privilege. We'll see that, like what are the privileges it's getting. So this inherited, again, as I told, it will be from the roles, whatever the access are inherited. So these are the two main DBC tables. So though we'll be only using this all rights okay, these access rights will be encoded. Means we won't be able to read, not human readable format. So we'll be using this all rights okay. So let's see that roles also. So here I have given this Excel where you have this access right code for all the access rights, because in the system you won't be able to see this. Suppose if it is execute, you will be see only E. So in that case, you need to know like what it is. So for your reference, I have given this. So maybe you can go through this one. So get used to it. So let's see this all rights here. So select star from dbc dot all rights. Where user name equal to, let's give one username that is HR_DB. Okay, just consider this. Okay, if you see here,
okay,
this HRDB is a database we created, right? So again, it got some access automatically. So we didn't grant anything, right? So we just created it with DB admin. Since this is owner for itself, it got some rights. If you see here, this create view, create table, all it got on itself.
Okay.
So let me take example with DB admin. Yeah, so if we see this DB admin also, we have some, we're able to see some rights. So these are not automatically assigned by the Teradata system. So in your case, right, if you want to see, suppose we have finance DB and HRD. Okay, let me grant select on finance DB to HR DB with grant action. Okay, so what will happen? HRDB will be able to access tables on finance DB, right? They grant this. Okay, that is done. So let me check like what is this HRDB is having access.
Okay. Grant select.
Okay, this
we have the three tables, right? On the all role rights, all rights.
Yeah, all rights. Yes. We V, you mean? Okay, we can add that. Yeah. All rights V.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I'm running from role rights. Yeah. Okay, this is wrong. Right?
So what exactly?
All rights.
The role level information also it has, right? Role right means?
Role rights will have role level only. Actually, I should have run from all rights only. I mistakenly run from that role rights. Okay. So if we see here, put it on Y. Okay. So finance TV. Okay, let me cross-check what I granted. On finance TV to HRW, right? Okay. Finance TV to HRW. Let me check finance TV. Both will should work. I can either give username or this one. Okay, here it is. Okay. So if we see here, we granted the cross DB access, right? Here we granted, right? So grant select on finance DB to HRDB. So views in HRDB can be able to access data from finance DB. That's what we saw, right? So if you want to confirm that, if you do select on this, right? So you see here, so username is HRDB, right? HRDB. And the database name is finance DB. And if you see the access right, it is select. And we have given the grant authority is Y, which means we have given with grant option. Yeah. So if you see here, these are
that indicator will say like grant authority. Okay.
Yeah, with grant option you have granted. So so have this username, this user will be able to access this finance. So that's a simple concept.
Okay, if you didn't run with grant option means that will be N, right?
Yeah, here it will be N. Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is how we'll check the cross DB access between this databases.
Okay.
Okay. So that's all I have for today. Maybe you can go through this, and if you have any more doubts on this rights and roles, you can let me know.
Yeah, okay, sure. And one more thing I would like to ask, do you have any coughing, Teradata Tom coughing books?
Yeah, I have. I will share with you.
Okay.